Alrighty, everybody, welcome back once again to our channel here in Elite Raceway. We are here with our Noah's Division 1 group now, following our Tier 2 group that was just having their race about over an hour and a half ago. So we are back here once again, and looking forward to seeing this group. We do have 16 drivers at the moment, possibly, hopefully Chevy Wolves is able to join in, so that will be 17, and if Moy Cooley joins in as well, that would be 18. But anyway, still a phenomenal group to have here today, and yeah, we're here for round 6 of 12 here in Monza, Italy. So after today, we'll be halfway through the season. As I mentioned before in Tier 2, we will be having our 2-week break following this race. So as I reminded all the drivers, make sure to make this race a good one. But anyways, yeah, we had a really good Tier 1 and Tier 2 race. Looking quite dry here in the track, so I don't think I've had any weather updates, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be staying dry the whole time. But we do have a couple of new debuts here, so I do believe that is going to be Leader Leabag in the Racing Bull, our Tier 2, sorry, our Division, I'm confusing my tiers and my divisions. Our Division 2 Noah's driver in the Racing Bull today also races for the Racing Bulls in Division 2. So, yeah, wanting the extra practice, and he's definitely one who we've seen give plenty of great battles. So, looking forward to see what he's able to pull in for this group. Uh, we do have a couple of drivers already putting in their laps. So, Ricky Stanicki along with Mini Tony putting in a hot lap. And so, yes, for the commentary booth, we do have me, La Rodri, in the comms booth. Always happy to be here and catching all the action for you guys. And we will be having Turtle Commander 7 joining in a few minutes, just putting in Private Turtle, Private Baby Turtle in bed. So he will be here in a few minutes and will be co-comms with me. But anyways, yeah, Ricky Nikki putting in a lap time. I did want to take a quick look at the championship battle. And we do have quite a tense battle between the top two. For the driver standings, we do have MK7 Hitch currently holding 167 points. Mac T 162 points, so very, very close between those two. We do have PO2 104 points in third at the moment. So I think this is the highest we've seen PO2, aka Fosina, PO7 in the standings, so well done by him. Does look like we have a couple drivers who have already put in a lap time, so a couple 120s at the moment. We do have Mac T, as we mentioned, who is second in the standings, putting in a hot lap. And regarding, since we're keeping an eye on Mac T in the Ferrari, regarding the constructor standings, Ferrari team of Mac T and Sayo in the lead, 238 points. Right behind Red Bull of MK7 Hitch and Relativity, 194 points. And I do want to give a little bit of a shout out. The Alpine team getting the pass on the Haas, moving up to third with a total of 121 points, 1 point ahead of the Haas. I will say that's a big thanks to Mini Tony, who managed to put in some good points last week. And I do see that Chevy Wolves needs a invite, so there you go. Alrighty, so we have a couple of drivers who have already put in some 119. So Mamu holding provisional pole, 119.1. We do have MacT going around the final corner. Curious to know what he's able to put in since he is one of our top drivers of this group. But MacT about to cross the line puts in a 118.7. Phenomenal lap time by MacT. We do have MK7 Hitch, who is, as we mentioned again, the leader of the championship standings. Really testing the limits on those on those track limits. My goodness. For a second I thought he was gonna invalidate, but MK7 Hitch doing really well to keep it on the track. So MK7 Hitch going around the final corner. Has to make sure he keeps the traction there, using all the battery he can get. But MK7 Hitch manages to put in a provisional pole 2/10 away from Mac T at 118.5. So really good lap time between these two drivers. And we do have MacT's teammate Sayo, who has just crossed the line, puts himself in the top 10 at 120.1. So really close laps between all these drivers. We do have a couple who use this race as practice for Division 2. That's Ultron and leader Leebag, as I mentioned before. But we do have Pori Panzero, who is a full-time driver in the team. The Williams team puts in a 120.6. I am curious to know what happened to PO7, considering he did retire from the session. Possibly looking for a last to first challenge. And let me see if I can send Chevy Wolves another invite. And I did want to briefly mention in Tier 1 on Saturday, where we do use limited assists. However, they don't use any traction control, they only use ABS. They use corner line along with automatic gears. I had, had to really think about it. We did have Demube, who put in a solid 117.6 for his for the fastest lap for the provisional pole for the actually not the provisional actual pole position for Tier 1. So I am curious to see what these drivers are able to put in. We do have leader Leadbag here in Sector 2 going a tad bit wide, however, still keeping the car on the track, doing well to keep it away from the gravel. And we do have our Manson as well, who's currently sitting in 7th on an outlap, looking to improve. But leader Leebag, our hype man in Division 2, always likes to bring up the the excitement in the group. And always sending some really good memes, I will give him that. But leader Leebag crossing the line is going to put in a 122.3. I do think that may have actually been a banker lap, considering he's just switching over to the hot lap mode now. But we will be keeping an eye on him in a few as well. We do have Atron and Kyle as well. Kyle, who actually just won our Tier 2 race, trying out the Gnosis Division 1 group. And we do have 4 of the top 5 currently on an outlap. So we do have less than 10 minutes remaining in this group, or in this session. I do see we have on our live chat, this Red Panda saying evening. So good evening to you, sir. Hopefully these drivers are able to... Oh man, leader Leebag having a little bit of a wiggle. Unfortunately into the wall. I do think he picked up a bit of damage. He does have, I think that is the Mercedes getting past. But leader Leebag, even despite that incident, doing really well to keep awareness of the surrounding drivers on the track. Well, let's see. We do have our Manson here finishing up in Sector 2. And we will be taking a look. It looks like he is going to be up by 3/10. Has to be careful on these final corners. Does really well to keep the car on the track. We do have Dismal Games as well in Sector 1. Has just started his lap. But our Manson going around the final corner. Our Manson, who has been with us for quite a number of seasons. We've definitely seen him improve. He did really well in Division 2. Was very nice enough to give up his seat and move up to Division 1 to allow more drivers learning no assists to actually race. Actually, no, our Manson is a full-time driver in Division 2. I'm losing my mind. I'm actually thinking about Mini Tony. Oh, yeah. Let's see. We do have our top drivers. See, this is what happens when they make me commentate for 2 races in a row. I start losing track of everybody. Anyways, we do have MK7 Hitch and MacT on a hot lap at the moment. MacT currently the driver ahead. And I don't think he has... Actually, no. Looks like he's up a 10th, almost 2 tenths on his time. And I do see Red Panda saying, someone tell Hitch to stop sandbagging. Yeah? I'll send him over to the esports. But anyways, Mac T going around the final corner has a bit of battery to use up here on the final straight, has the DRS as well, but Mac T puts in a provisional pole, does put in a 118.5. MK7 Hitch, who's tailing right behind here in Sector 3, we'll be able to see what he's able to put in terms of improvement, but I will say Kyle has managed to put himself in third at 118.7. And MK7 Hitch crossing the line puts in a 118.1, stealing away, so he's getting back that provisional pole from MacT. And Mini Tony actually doing a phenomenal job to put himself up into 6th at the moment. We do have Dismal Games, who the game does say he's up by 3/10. However, we do know how the game tends to be when we switch over to Deltas. But anyways, Dismal Games going across the line puts in a 118.7, so he actually improves by 7/10 and puts himself up in the second row. So Dismal Games up into third. So Dismal Games, if I'm not mistaken, this is actually his first race as a full-time driver. Actually, maybe his no, this is his second race as a full-time driver. Having joined in a little bit later in the season, but we do love to see him back and racing with us. So let's see, we do have Fate, who is currently just coming out of the pits. Do want to give a little bit of a shout out to Fate, who actually won his first race last week following a penalty for the drivers ahead. So big congratulations to Fate. I do believe that is his first win with us in the ERA. I'm pretty sure he probably would like to have it happen on the track, but a win is a win, and honestly, he raced really well in Australia. Make sure to keep to look back at that race if you can, and make sure to give us a like and subscribe just in case. And it looks like Fate actually has a couple of fans. I remember this red panda saying all his homies love Fate. Alrighty, so it appears we only have leader Lee. Fate actually retiring in the pit lane. So looks like he's satisfied with that time. We do have leader Leebag looking to improve. As I mentioned, leader Leebag, one of our Division 2 drivers, looking to get the extra practice, get the extra racing in. So was a little bit unlucky on that spin, but leader Leebag is one to oftentimes not give up. Although of course he is reserving for this race, but leader Leebag we've seen has actually had phenomenal ratio of finishing the races, so I'll give him that. But leader Leebag still with plenty of battery to use. He's going to cross the line. Let's take a look to see if he does improve. He does improve by a second, however, it doesn't really help him to move up a position. We do have the Ferrari of Sayo looking to put in another lap. And I do see our co-commentator, Turtle Commander 7, joining in soon. Sending me a few messages. But anyways, Sayo here in Sector 2. And as we mentioned, this is the Temple of Speed. This is a classic track. Sayo's actually up by 6/10, unfortunately going a tad bit wide right there, and I do think that's going to make him lose a little bit of time. But this is definitely a classic track. As we mentioned, this is Monza, Italy. Yeah, total of 11 corners. We do have 7 right-handers and 4 left-handers, along with 2 DRS zones, as we've seen throughout this qualifying session. And looks like Saya, who was actually up 6/10, moved down to 3/10, was actually able to enter the 119s and able to move up a position, getting past Ricky Stanicki on the grid. And so we do have less than 2 minutes remaining in this qualifying session. Very tight times between the top drivers, and so we will be expecting to see a couple changes happening at the end. And looks like Chevy Wolves unable to join into the session. I am reading his Discord message. Unfortunately, he has been spending 30 minutes on the communicating with servers. So, yeah, EA is EA. Unfortunately, we can't do anything about that. We try adapting as much as we can, but we will be seeing. Hopefully, we will see him again next race. But anyways, we do have Mac T starting his lap here in Sector 1. This long straight, definitely an area where we'll be seeing plenty of overtakes. However, where we will be seeing a few mistakes as well for drivers locking up into turn 1. But Mac T doing an amazing job to actually take that corner. But we do have MK7 Hitch tailing behind. Kyle and Mamu actually starting their lap time as well. But Mac T in Sector 1 appears to be up by 200ths on his time. MK7 Hitch, I do see him on the mini-map trying to catch to the end of the line to start his lap. But let's see, we do have Mac T still saving up plenty of battery, actually up 2/10, has put in a purple second sector. MK7 Hitch just managing to cross the line with 3 seconds to spare to start his lap. But we do have Mac T, who's going to be our first driver to cross the line and put in a lap in these final seconds. But Mac T going to cross and does improve by 2/10, however, not enough to actually get past MK7 Hitch on the grid. We do have a couple of changes happening as well. Relativity, I believe, or was our driver to cross the line? Actually, no, Mamu putting himself in the top 5. We do have Dismal Games, who appears to have backed out, possibly from a mistake. And let's see, we do our Manson, who appears to be up on his time. Game does show that he was up by a 10th. And if that's the case, then he will be looking for a top 10 in the grid, for the starting grid. But our Manson does improve, however, not enough. Not enough. And I do think that is going to be our starting grid for round 6. And actually, looks like MK7 Hitch, even with a little bit of battery to spare and fuel, he actually does improve with a 118.1. So MK7 Hitch with the pole position, great lap time by him. So I do believe we're just waiting for the McLaren team. There we go. Alrighty, so we do have MK7 Hitch starting on pole position for round 6 here in Monza. Right next to him, we do have Mac T, followed by Kyle, Dismal Games, Mamu, Relativity, Fate, Maximilian, Mini Tony, Autron, Armanson, Ricky Stenicki, Sayo, Pori Panzero, Leader Leadback, and Fosina PL7. And that is going to be our starting grid. So, just going to take a quick look at the Discord chat. Alrighty, so just for a brief reminder to all our drivers listening in, we do give about 3 to 5 minutes for drivers to prepare themselves for the race. As I mentioned, I don't think anybody's mentioned rain, and it does look like it's going to be a dry race. And yeah, as I mentioned in tier 2, I do like it when when the rain spices things up. But in a dry race, we should be seeing plenty of overtakes happening, plenty of race battles. Leader Leadback a little bit disappointed about his quality time, but as we mentioned, this is practice for him, And yeah, Altron even uses this for practice as well. So you make a little bit of tweaks, and you'll probably do really well in Division Two on Wednesday. Um, I do see Turtle Commander joining or logging in soon. So let me just make sure I sent him. Ah, he doesn't appear online. Yeah, let's see. There we go. Perfect. I can easily find him on the list. Alrighty, so just making sure he doesn't have any troubles in terms of joining in, considering Chevy Wolves was struggling quite a lot with it. And Red Panda, I actually just saw that you entered the Discord chat, so or Discord server. So yeah, if you're interested in racing, just make sure you fill out an application. I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. I do have work tomorrow, so if you do send it tomorrow, give me a couple hours to actually get back to you. I will say that. Or if you just want to chill in our server, that's perfectly fine. I can give you access as well. Just let me know. You can message me directly. But yeah, I don't see anything from Turtles. So as a big reminder to all the drivers, please ensure uh, you exercise caution in the first corner. As we don't have formation lap on for some of them who, for some of you watching and don't know. Um, so yes, they'll be diving straight into the race. I have given them the ready up to start the race, and I do think Ricky Stanicki has left. So Ricky Stanicki, who was having some people work on his internet today, looks like it didn't do much considering he left. Alrighty, but anyways, they do have the ready up. They should be having the timer going down in a few seconds. And let me just let Ricky Stanicki know on the Discord chat. Okay, there we go. I didn't hear the timer, but anyways, 5 lights, 6 lights, and off they go. And I'm not getting any. Oh, there we go. There is the sound. So, MK7 Hitch able to maintain that lead. We do have Kyle who has Dismal Games on the inside. Mac T looking to make an attack as well. A little bit of contact from the drivers behind. I think that was the Aston Martin of Mamu, but looks like up in the front, Mac T getting the run on MK7 Hitch, though MK7 Hitch not giving that up. And I do see Dismal Games has gotten the overtake done on Kyle, moving up a position. MK7 Hitch trying to hold off Mac T for the first opening lap. And I do see that Turtle Commander 7 has joined in onto the party chat, so big welcome to you. You joined right when the race was starting, so I couldn't give you a proper introduction right there.
That's okay. That's okay. I had a feeling that was the case. Do you mind just sending an invite?
I sent you. Ooh, looks like we do have VSC. I sent you an invite. Let me see. All right, there you go, and I'll share screen as well. Alrighty, so from what I see, they do have a virtual safety car out. And I do believe that may have actually been possibly from Fate in the Mercedes, losing out quite a number of positions. I did see the Aston Martin. I do believe that was Mamu who had a little bit of a spin there, but actually doing well to keep it on the track are Manson picking up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. So as I mentioned, this is no racing
Ooh.
line. So this will be a big challenge for a lot of these drivers.
Oh.
But anyways, in terms of position changes, Mini Tony, look at Mini Tony, who has to change his name to Mighty Tony or something better than that. Up 3 positions. They do have, they are returning back to racing. Green flags are out. And if I'm not mistaken, DRS has been enabled. So, yeah, all the gaps close together. We do have, actually, leader lead bag up 7 positions and PO2 up 7 positions as well.
Here I am. Okay. I am here. And thank you for the VSC. It must have come at a perfect time. I knew I was here. Hello, Larodri. Sorry I am late. Better late than never. But I am here.
No worries, no worries. You came right on time, and I think that is another virtual. I think that is oof, that is Maximilian right into the wall. And
Oh, wee.
that appears to possibly have been contact between Fate and Maximilian. Fate actually picking up a 10-second penalty is that is quite the view of the car.
As we're
My
talking about it, yeah.
we do have actually this safety car come out, so this is going to be under safety car. Uh yeah, Maximilian's car. Whew, that is yeah, it's gonna be something to look at afterwards, I guess.
I noticed that EA gave a yeah, 3 stop and a 4 stop. I've never seen that before, especially at Monza, so I
Especially at
don't think
Monza,
that's gonna be
right?
the case. Yeah, exactly. That if the deck is that high, holy moly, Garganzoli, we are in Italy. But
Hold on to your pastas. Eh,
hold your yeah, hold your pastas and squash your tomatoes.
Oh, I do see the yuppie wishing us happy holidays on the YouTube live chat. We do miss you, good sir. I know you said you're gonna come back in January, so I do hope you're enjoying your holidays away from us, and hopefully it's peaceful. Cause
Why'd you leave? Don't leave us.
that's right. Tell him.
No,
Tell him.
yeah, we miss you. Straight shout out. Literal shout. Hi.
He said his
Virtual
wife.
safety car.
I think
Yeah,
the
virtual
yuppie. Are you?
safety car. But is that a safety car on the map right now? Am I seeing that right?
It is a safety car, so they have to catch up to it, and yeah. So that's usually a game glitch. Usually it does display virtual safety car, but if you check on the map, it's actually a safety car. Um,
Ah,
I did see
okay.
quite a number of drivers already pit. Mac T actually just picked up a 10-second penalty there for speeding in the pit lane.
No.
So
No way.
that is going to hurt.
Just
But
why don't you add a little spice to the last race before the holidays? Wow.
yeah, right, it'll be a nice little 2-week break. um, anyways,
Everybody needs it.
we do. But yeah, in terms of strategy, we did see a couple of drivers. A grand majority of the drivers opt for the hard compounds. A few have already pit. I think a few had actually pit during the virtual safety car, but MK7 Hitch remaining out and still leading the race with 3-lap-old hard compounds. And as we've
It's a
seen,
good.
the championship is quite tight between
Yeah,
Maxi and
yeah.
Hitch.
It's tight, and this is where you want to be. We've seen this rivalry heat up, and now the drivers are duking it out before a little break, and MK7 Hitch is he's probably grinning from cheek to cheek with how everything's going right now. I would say, I mean, like, if you look at it, right, like, if we're looking at the strategy, so MacT just went on the medium, so he's gonna have two cars to have to deal with before he even gets close to MK, and MK should be able to just with clean air, create a steady
Mhm.
gap because Dismal and leader Leabag is going to have a little bit of, you know, he's gonna have some dirty air that's gonna cause him some issues to move forward.
Yeah.
All the while, right, with Maxi on their tails. But nothing, nothing. They're gonna pit early. MK7 Hitch, if he continues to extend for that one stop, is just gonna, you know, gain himself a free pit stop at one point. It's crazy. Monza can be incredible, uh, because of the fast corners and the possibility of safety car, but also th this track can very much, swing the other way,
Mm.
and if the driver is level-headed and can deal with some deg and some difficult driving, they can definitely pull a gap and save themselves.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, 100%. Hitch is in a good spot because MacT switched over to the mediums, and those mediums I don't think they are gonna last all the way to the end of the race.
oh no way,
And then
no,
on
not
top of that, if he
20.
pits, yeah, if he pits, he has to serve a 10-second penalty. So MK7 Hitch in a good position to really gain some points and extend that lead in the championship. Um, Gutting from McT, I'm pretty sure he's annoyed by that, and possibly annoyed by the safety car. But actually, it looks like leader Leabag has opted to pit and get rid of the mediums, and so that's gonna free up McT for at least one car. But we are waiting for some of the drivers to catch up.
Wait, yeah, he did. Nice. Lee Bag just put him. He was like, Lee Bag was like, "Oh yeah." He's like, "Why don't I just put myself in the pit in the middle of it?"
Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, this is actually Leabag's debut in Division One after I think a really, really long time, right? I think like since season one, because he was a driver kind of in it, just never showed up.
Yeah. Shout outs to Lee Bag. He's been here since the start. He's seen Nana grow to be where it's at now, and he's definitely a big supporter of the movement. So big
Yeah,
shout
no,
outs to Lee Bag.
he is in love with the Gnosis. He definitely enjoys it. He's ecstatic with the Gnosis Division Two group, which is honestly a really great group. I personally really enjoy watching those races. Uh, but anyways, looks like we do have the safety car coming in this lap. So MK7 Hitch currently leading the race. All the drivers trying to keep warm of those those tires. And MacT pulling a little bit of a Kimi Räikkönen, right? Just going straight.
Yeah. Just straight cold.
He's like, I don't care.
No, MK definitely wants to get his tires in a window, but he also needs to be prepped to go, and think I think it's time to go.
Oh, he's
But
keeping
he's
them on their
holding them up.
toes. Yep.
He's holding them. Here he goes. So I'm expecting a dive into T1.
No, I think they'll
Not
be.
dismal.
Yeah, no, I think they'll be cautious. Dismo's draining a majority of his battery to try staying ahead of MacT. I do think Mamu actually got the move done on the inside of Mini Tony, and Kyle as well. Look,
Nice.
giving a little bit of a battle. Mini Tony trying to keep the position, using up that battery. Oof, and that is a little bit of contact right there, but no harm, no foul. The drivers remaining on the track.
Mac T on the inside of Dismal into T3. Holds his line and is able to get past Dismal. Not fighting it too hard, understands the situation. MacD, but yeah, MacD's definitely putting in a statement here. Even with that 10-second, he knows what he has to do, and he is fierce right now. As we go down the pack, Mahmood gaining places over relativity in P4. And like you said, Mini Tony dropping a few places with PO7 in PO7.
He has
Living
like
up
that
to his
position
name.
locked in, right? Oh, that
He
is.
loves that position.
Oh, for a second it was giving me a safety car notification. It's still giving me a safety car notification, but
I'm
yeah.
seeing that as well. That's on my screen as well. I
Eh, t-
see we have no-nos on Hori Pezzetto.
yep, and
But that's just an EA thing.
Yep, Mini Tony going for the move on the inside of relativity, able to get the move done. So great racing by Mini Tony, clean overtakes and giving each other enough space. Him and relativity there.
I got a few no-noses on a few cars here.
Ah, so that's
Love to
definitely the
see
game.
it. Yeah, yeah, love to see it. Love to see this. I mean, if they're gonna bring a DLC next year, fix the glitches. It's the fine details, please. When I when I when I spectate, please have noses on the cars.
Yeah, Mini Tony just actually going wide and off into the gravel, so relativity's gonna get that position back with the help of the DRS and the mistake from Mini Tony. And we do have quite a number of gaps closing in. So Mac T is still on the back of MK7 Hitch. Mamu now on the back of Dismal, who has lost out of the DRS from Mac T over 2 seconds now.
Yeah,
And
Dismal really backed up. But
yeah,
Mahmood
he
is now sniffing on his tail. This is the effect of the medium tires. This is exactly what's going on here. Mahmood's gonna whistle by with the DRS open. And oh, there's a dive from the Alpine. And he's off the track. He went through, cut through the chicane. That's
looks like
PO7.
that was Mini
No,
Tony.
no,
It
that
looks
was
like that
Mini
was Mini
Tony.
Tony dropping down a couple positions.
Yeah, Mini Tony went down a few.
Yeah, as that was happening,
Mahmood in P3 now.
yeah, really good job from Mamu. So many battles happening all at once. I was keeping an eye on MK7 Hitch and Mac T, who was trying to get the move done on the inside. But MK7 Hitch doing really well to defend. Considering he does have a much better tire advantage, I will say he's in a really good position. But looks like Dismo Games dropping back a bit from Mamu. And quite a bit of a DRS train, it seems, right? Ooh,
Yeah, that's literally, oh.
Dismal Games not picking up a 3 second penalty. I did see yellow flags, and I do think that was Arm Manson in 15th at the moment.
Yeah, there's a train, there's a train a chugging, choo choo, and, and Mac T and MK7 Hitch are just kind of making a gap. We're at this point, if you're losing these much places, do you pit? I think the answer is yes. Oh, we got a caution.
Ooh, I think
Yeah,
our
that's
Manson
our
is
Manson.
struggling a little bit this race, from what I've seen.
Our Manson said, "I'm going on holidays."
I will say the battle between Mac T and MK7 Hitch is quite tense. I will say they have me a little bit on my toes. Uh, the way Mac T is closing the gap behind MK7 Hitch. But yeah, I mean, Mac T has to make the move. He is on the medium tires. Well, it looks like MK7 Hitch doing really well to hold him back. And looks like up in the back we do have Kyle tailing on the back of Relativity. Is going to have the DRS Relativity with no DRS from Mamu, so nothing to really defend himself with.
Kyle, Kyle, Kyle's holding on real hard to Relativity right now. I think I'm about to see it overtake Kyle when those
We
DRS
actually
flaps
had
open.
Dismal
Yep,
pitting in as well,
he is
but
right through to P4. It's not your typical top five, and I'm very impressed. Relativity definitely putting in some work, coming up in the top five in P5 right now. He's got a few guys real close to him, but he's definitely keeping up. Caution again. That looks like
Might be lead or lead bag if I'm not mistaken in sector one.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, I have I have the colors memorized.
I'm just gonna quickly move over to the pit stops, and we have. Okay,
MK7
so
hits the
only
only
Fate
driver.
has done two so far. Yeah, no, MK is in the best situation. All he needs to do now is just hold on until he needs to stop, which I believe might be like lap 15. So, and he's gaining a little gap now. He's almost got 1 second on MACD.
I will say, how do you know how long the pit stop is for this track? I have to start memorizing them.
It's well, yeah. Well, it's a typically they're between like 20 to 26, 27 seconds.
Mhm.
I think the longest one is Imola. Just because the exit is so long, or or Silverstone or Abu Dhabi because
Mhm.
like the come in and the exit is so long. Um, but yeah, this one's relatively no pun intended. Relatively short and straight.
Mhm.
So I believe this one's like within the 20 to 21 second mark. And you know what? While we're here, I'm on a PC. I can do this. I'm gonna pull up mm, the exact home.
Ooh, Sayo, a little bit of a struggle there on the exit and almost losing the car. So Fate is going to go right through, moving up to 8th. And according to Red Panda, it looks like it's about 24 seconds on this track. So, I mean, if MK7 Hitch does pit, he will be losing quite a number of positions looking at the leader interval. However, I do think MK7 Hitch has quite a bit of pace to actually go for some overtakes. But MacT still tailing on the back of MK7 Hitch, giving MK7 Hitch giving him a little bit of smoke right there. But yeah, it looks like all the drivers just following behind of each other. Are you still trying to do the math?
Yeah, no, it's the Monza. They say 20 to 25 seconds. It's Formula One. Let's be honest. It's gonna be between like 20 to 24 seconds. You know what I'm saying? I know there can be 5 second pit stops, but come on. A bad one's like 3 seconds. You know what I mean? Like, come
Yeah.
on, that's still crazy. But yeah, no, it's within the 20-21 second gap. So, uh, yeah, Dismal fell back because of the uh train going on. Um, and he's got PO7 behind him, but he's got clean air now. You know what I mean? He can
Mm-hmm.
push and not wear his tires. And Dismal's on, I believe, the hards. Yeah, fresh hards, clean air. When everybody pits,
He'll be moving
when
up.
people pit, exactly, he's gonna push, and that's gonna give him positions. Um, yeah, Mac T definitely like it's difficult with Mac T because did Mac T start on hards? I can't remember. I need to look at the race
He
director.
started on the hards, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, no, he started on the mediums. So he went mediums.
Medium.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah,
That
because
is
only
very
MK7 Hitch
interesting.
started on the hard compounds in the top 5, if I'm not mistaken. Um,
Right. So
I
yeah,
am
so
keeping
Mac
an
T
eye on quite
definitely
a number
put
of belt
himself
flows.
in a position. So, all right, here I go playing fortune teller, but you know when they typically say like either do opposite or do same as the driver ahead?
Mhm.
I think for Mac T, he's gonna do the same as MK. When MK pits, Mac T's gonna pit. MK's gonna go to the mediums. Mac T's gonna go to the hards to fulfill the requirements, and then Mac T, if he doesn't, no, I mean they'll come out in the same order, but MACT over time is gonna gain pace, where MK7 Hitch, he's gonna come out hard and then maybe burn up his tires as MK7 Hitch locks up into T1.
Yeah, we do have a couple
But
drivers actually already pitting. So Fate actually has chosen to switch out of the mediums, which actually isn't a bad idea. Mac T
this is his
still.
third piece pit stop.
Yes, yes, it is, yeah. But
Let's,
Mac
oh,
T has to pit soon, and the issue is that he also has the 10-second penalty to serve in the pit lane, so he's gonna be losing plenty of time in
oh
that
yeah.
pit stop. I do see Atron and Relativity giving a little bit of a battle. Relativity trying to hold off Atron, but I think up in the front, Mac T going to have the DRS behind of MK7 Hitch. So, so I'm keeping an eye on all the deltas. Everybody closing in on
M
each other,
M
but not making a move yet. I will say that.
yeah, MK just had a bunch of slides going through the Lasimos. Um, but yeah, I think when MK dove into the pits for his stop, and he got that pen, he definitely started swearing because he definitely didn't think about changing his strategy, and it would have been better if he moved to. And as we say that, he
Yep,
dives
Mac
into the
T's.
pits.
Yeah, Mac T's gonna go into the pit, which isn't a bad idea. I mean, he does have the 10-second penalty, so might as well get rid of those mediums and just try taking the hards all the way to the end.
But if he moved to the hards at the beginning, he could have potentially gone to the end
Mhm.
and then appealed the penalty, right? Now our hands are sort of tied with that penalty, so where he finishes is where he'll finish.
Mhm.
But uh it's just, yeah, I feel like he would have been cursing up a storm, diving in, getting the
Mhm.
pen, and then just not reacting fast enough to change the tires. Also, too, isn't Ferrari like second in the pit lane because they finished second in 2024?
They are.
Yeah, exactly. So that also is he would have dived into the pit lane, got the pen, been like, oh no, can't think fast enough. Boom, your car's in the pits, and then you're out, and then it's the the exit's longer because you're at the start of the pit lane,
Mhm.
and then he's just cursing up a stern. Why did I put on the mediums? Now I gotta stop again. I'm gonna have to serve the penalty. Blah 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 blah.
I will say though, I wouldn't. We're forgetting one more driver, and that's Mamu, who is actually holding on to the back of MK7 Hitch. Currently in second, following
Mamu
Mac T pitting. But
and
Mamu,
Kyle.
yeah, Mamu up to, well, down, well, has 2 lap younger tires, right? So he's holding on, and he has a good chance to keep on holding on to the back of MK7 Hitch. And yeah, I mean, Mamu with a possible, I don't want to jinx him, but with a possible podium finish, it would be great for him. I think this would be his second one. And I do see a couple battles happening in the back as well. So PO7 getting the move done on Dismal Games. And
You said that. I just realized. On top of all that, yeah, he's also gonna lead the race eventually.
who, Mamu?
Mamu.
Well, I don't know, cause there's 10 laps remaining, right? Would you take the hards all the way to
MK
the
has
end?
to pit. MK
Yeah,
has to pit.
yeah, but Mamu is only 2 laps younger, so would Mamu risk a possible puncture towards the end? I can't really remember how long the hards
Well,
really hold out.
we don't exactly. We don't know the. Oh, and as you say that, Mamu dives into the pits.
Hey, he's falling behind MK7 Hitch. The top two are actually gonna pit. Kyle's gonna lead the race. But yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to pit again. I don't see.
Well,
I don't see him.
he must have had enough wear, but ooh, I'm curious where with the. I'm gonna put the question out now into the chat because
Trying to take a look at where
I need to
MK7
know.
Hitch is gonna
I need
come
to
out.
know.
So Hitch is actually gonna come out in 5th. And it does look like that 10-second penalty for MacT really hurt him. So MacT currently in 10th, five positions below. I can hear you typing away with your little calculator.
It's my new keyboard.
See, my brother-in-law has he's a bit of a fanatic when it comes to like the sounds of the keyboard, so he like has a bunch of different ones. So I can just
Yeah.
imagine you.
Yeah, I got the linear mechanical one, so it's still clicky clicky,
Fancy.
but it's very smooth to the touch. And I do a lot of typing at work. I'm a supervisor. I'm a production supervisor. So I gotta do a bunch of like documents and forms. So I've gone quick to the keyboard typing. But okay, not to bore anybody, but Kyle, who I believe just started in ERA, uh,
For
is
the no
pitting
assist,
right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
What was I gonna say? I was
Yeah,
about
so
to say
top
he's
three,
like
yeah.
he's,
So look, the
yeah.
top three, the top four. So yeah, as I mentioned, they were gonna have to pit again because those hards were not gonna go all the way to the end. um, so I do think
So e
MK7 Hitch had a really good strategy call on staying out with the hards,
yeah, and Mahmood too.
and Mamu too. Yeah.
Incredible. Mahmood could have stayed on the hard, no? Oh no, I gotta
No,
check
he
everything.
had 2 lap younger tires than
He started
MK7
on
Hitch,
the
so I don't.
medium, went to the hard, now he's
Mhm.
back on the medium.
Yeah, so it was a good
Hmm.
strategy call. I think the 2 stop did help a lot in terms of adapting uh, to the safety cars and the virtual safety cars. But MK7 Hitch were doing really well with the 1 stop. I will give him that. Um, I did want to say the position changes. So PL7 up 11 positions. So great job by him. Mamu up
Wow.
3. And MacT down 4. Relatively down 5 as well. So those two, the highest positions. Ooh, Kyle picking up a 3-second penalty
Oh
there.
no.
And that's going to leave it to fair game between him and Dismal. Though Dismal does have a bit of older tires. I don't know how much he's able to tire whisper all the way to the end and try getting the overtake on Kyle. But MK7 Hitch also picking the fastest lap at 121.1.
Kyle diving into the pits. That's bringing Dismal and PO7 up. And PO7, if he stays where he is, that's a podium. I don't think he's gotten a podium yet this season, right?
Yep. Oh, the camera was giving me a little bit of hectic chaos right for a second because I was just trying to switch to the battle between Ricky Stanigui and Achan. It was giving me Kyle in the pits. But anyways, yeah, I was like, what the heck?
No!
I can't even follow properly. Oh my god. But
I'm producing, yeah.
I will say it has been a really good race. A lot of overtakes happening, a lot of strategy calls having to be adjusted, and yeah, really working out for a lot of them. Mini Tony currently in 7th, top 10. I think last week was his first time in the top 10 as well. I could be wrong, but I do think he's been doing really well this season. He did mention that he's carrying the Alpine team these past 2 weeks since my coolie's away. Uh, we'll chip in for a back massage. Send him a massage
That's
chair.
it.
Oh man.
Tony, we got your back. Literally.
Yeah. And he does have the fresh medium tires, tailing on the back of Fate. Does have the DRS. I don't think he'll be close enough to make a move yet, but there will be about 6
Yeah,
more
hope.
laps remaining, and I think those mediums will really do him well towards the end of the race, as long as he keeps the car from outbraking, like he did in the other prior laps. But Achan and Ricky Stanicki still giving quite a good battle. Ricky Stanicki sitting with the 6-lap-old hards, Achan the 2-lap-old mediums, uh, still battling it out, and so Achan getting the position.
My screen doesn't look as nice because Ricky Stenicki's apparently has no nose.
Gee.
Whoa! And he almost lost it in IRL. And Artron now also has no nose. Thank you, EA.
Yeah, I think only once has that happened to me, and I found that completely weird. I thought that only really happened to PC drivers, but Yeah, looking at the gaps, we do have Ricky Stanicki struggling a tad bit, I think, with those hard compounds, and Relativity putting a little bit of pressure, but Dismal Games losing a couple positions. I think he may have had a little bit of a mistake there,
He must have
dropping down
gone.
two
He must have gone
positions.
wide. Yeah, he must have gone wide.
And so that is going to move PO7 up to third. Mac T out of nowhere climbing up the grid, now currently sitting in fourth. Ricky Stanicki picking up a 10-second penalty, and I do see a little bit of a battle between Fate and Mini Tony as well.
Yeah, Fate coming back on Mini Tony after that move he had. Macti moving up on PO7. PO7 being like, no! No!
PO7, who has yet to get a podium in this league, has it right in front of him. We'll see how these couple laps go, but
He was cursing Macti. He
he's
was
like,
like, you're not
no.
gonna get there! You shall not pass! And Macti goes,
Bye bye. But
the way the Ferrari should have driven this year.
real, I agree. Put Mac T in the Ferrari,
Real
please.
talk.
Really,
Real
yeah,
talk.
real. Alrighty, but it looks like the gap has dropped back a little bit between Ultron and Relativity. But looking up ahead, Mini Tony still putting a little bit of pressure on the back of the Mercedes. But we do have about 5 laps remaining. And Mini Tony closing in on the back of the Mercedes. Is he going to be able to make a move? Does have the DRS, not using the battery yet. And looks like he's going to stay right behind, giving a little bit of space to Fate right there. And yeah, respectful racing. I will give him that. But Mamu in a really good position, up ahead, 11 seconds ahead of Mac T. So Mamu possibly looking for his second podium of the season and the league. Really.
Probably, yeah. I was gonna say his best finish, right? So.
Yeah, I think he's been putting quite a lot of practices this season.
And what a place to do it. I mean, Monza, just an incredible track. Has its significance, its historical significance. I've driven on the old layout, and the full layout is definitely an incredible track. So
I like it.
good
It's a
on
classic,
you,
I think.
Mahmood.
It's a classic.
Yeah, so what's it called? The original, you essentially do an oval and then it opens up to the rest of this layout.
I don't know, because I've only ever played it when it was like this.
Yeah.
I don't recall the old layout.
The old layout's pretty intense.
Ooh, Mini Tony still trying to get a little bit of a battle
late
with
on the
Fate.
brakes.
And
Yeah,
I was hoping
deep.
I'm assuming for turn 1, they don't really give you a helicopter view up ahead, so they give you a little bit of a sideline view. So I guess I'm gonna stay on the onboard with these guys. My God.
Yeah.
But PO2, yeah, as you mentioned, PO2 and Dismal still battling it out. Dismal Games does have the 3 seconds. Relativity has 3 seconds as well, and yeah, those two possibly looking for some position losses due to those penalties. Ricky Stanicki as well with Sayo within the 10 seconds there. And
Yeah, where Dismal's at right now, he would finish P7, right? If it were to finish right now.
he would finish P7. Yeah, you're right. He lost quite a lot of time in that mistake in the final curve, the final corner. So he's dropped back, and yeah, he does have Fate and Mini Tony closing in behind as well. However,
As we talk about that, Mackie crossing the line with a 122.7, so he's keeping fairly a good pace. Nothing close to his fastest lap, but he's creating a gap, pulling him closer to Mahmood. But Mahmood still with a huge, as we look at the full map, with a huge space between him and Mackie, so he just needs to be calm, cool, collected for the next 2 laps, and Mahmood's got that P2 in the bank.
Yep, I think Ricky Stanicki just left the session. Ricky Stanicki, who I mentioned was Had a couple of people come over to fix his internet. I don't think it really did much, but hopefully,
That
hopefully you could join back in. Let me see if I can send him a quick
I would
invite.
lose my mind.
call,
I'd be
call
on the
them back.
phone. Yeah, literally, as my stuff is like restarting, I'd call him and be like, "You don't understand. You messed
Well,
it
I'm having trouble
up."
finding him. Do you think you can send him an invite? Hopefully he can join
Yeah,
back
I'm
in.
on it.
Yeah. Yeah, very unfortunate for Staniki. I think that's and his AI pitting for the soft tires. So it's
No,
gutting because it's been, if I'm not mistaken, it's been 3 weeks in a row already. That's happened where he's disconnected or he's glitching. So it's we'll see, we'll see.
that
Hopefully
service
they can fix it.
provider.
Hopefully they can fix it.
Yeah,
Fingers crossed. But anyways,
almost start thinking about Starlink at that point.
or the phone's hotspot. I don't know. But anyways,
Yeah,
we do have Pori Panzetto trying to go on the inside of Atron. I think, ooh, looks like he went a little bit too wide right there, and so Relativity is gonna get the move done and stays ahead of the Williams. And up ahead, we're currently on our penultimate lap. Uh, MK7 and Hitch leading pretty much the entire race, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Except when he pit and Kyle was leading. But other than that, MK7 Hitch doing a phenomenal job to lead and dominate the race, I think. Um,
yeah, he's definitely put himself in a really good like space where when he pitted, he had no traffic, came out, had just Mahmood behind him. Mahmood also with the high IQ
ooh.
strategy.
And we do have Manny Tony who just picked up a 3 second penalty, and that's not gonna help him get the position from Dismal Games, who they're all following right behind. And looks like Dismal Games actually going a little bit wide right there and letting Fate through, which would be fair gaming
Must
if
be
he already knows he can't appeal it, but
Yeah, I think it must be something with his car setup
ooh,
to keep
a little bit of a
occurring
lockup.
such understeer on that last and here we go, understeer on that last corner. But Dismal's not done. Dismal's back in the fight. He's gonna keep fighting to the end. He's going to fight, Mr. Speaker. He's going to fight for all the Canadians, Mr. Speaker. Oh my
That's
goodness.
right, he is Canadian. He is Canadian. He's your fellow
uh,
Canadian mate.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Let's see. We do have. I do think Fate is possibly going to be looking to make the overtake here on the final lap. Our podium runners seem to be as they are, but
Yeah, and
Fate not close
MK7
enough.
completing the final corners and crossing the lines, weaving. He could have stopped and done a burnout with the gap that he had. And look at this,
Yeah,
Mamu
Mamu in second. I think that's his best
P2.
result. I am keeping an eye on the battle behind. I don't think looks like there's going to be any changes, although possibly Fate does have the DRS here on PO7, although I don't think it's activated until after the line. And is going to lose out by just a tenth behind. And Dismal Games and
Yeah,
Minis
from
Tony remaining
PO7.
the
Yeah,
same. And Kyle with the 6
Maxi with that 10
seconds.
seconds still got the P3. Let's go.
Look at this. Pori Panzetto actually gained 2 positions, Relativity and Kyle with the penalties. So Pori Panzetto up to ninth. And looking at the position changes, we've had quite a number of action happening. PO7 up 12 positions. Amazing. Amazing
I
race
didn't
by him.
notice Dismal did the one stop as well. So if it wasn't for that penalty, Dismal would have ended up, looks like P5.
Mhm.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, incredible race. Everybody did so good. Very gutting for Ricky Sineki. I would call my internet provider and cancel.
I think he
I would
joined right
cancel.
on time. He joined back quick, but
Yeah,
it is quite gutting. But yeah, really good race. Do you want to go over the final grid once it loads up?
absolutely. Yeah, so we got MK7 Hitch in P1, Mahmood in P2, hello, Mac T in P3, recovering from a 10-second penalty, PO7 in P4, Fate, winning out from the penalty from Dismal. So Fate in P5, Dismal P6, Mini Tony in P7, Artron P8, Pori Pezzetto in P9, Relativity in P10, Kyle, who was very high for the longest time in P11, Say Yao in P12, Leader Lee Bag in P13, R. Manson in P14, Ricky Snakey P15, and our only DNF of this race, Maximilian in P16. Everybody, this was an incredible race. Monza always provides a great entertainment. So thank you from us at ERA and the team. And it's break time, so enjoy your holidays. Uh, LaRoger, you want to close us out?
Yeah, no, honestly, it was a really good race. From what I've seen, well behaved.
Well behaved.
But yeah, honestly, a lot of the drivers I think have really shown improvement throughout seasons, and for those showing up this season, have honestly really solidified their, have made a statement, as you said, have done really well to establish themselves in the group. Looking forward to the break. For those listening in, we do have a 2 week break, the 1 week for Christmas, the next week for New Year's. So 2 week break. Maybe we'll do a little event. It won't be formal, but yeah, a little funsies, right? I haven't raced in a
Funsies
while. I haven't
always.
raced in a while, so we shall see. We
That's
shall see
it.
if that happens. Because like I said, a break is nice from all this. But anyways, yeah, I do appreciate your
Absolutely.
help as staff as well for this first half of the season. So I did want to give you guys a little bit of a shout out too. And yeah, we have our Gnosis Division 2 group on Wednesday, so we just have one more race. Looking forward to that.
Looking forward to it.
But anyways,
Am I? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, no. Anyways, everybody, thank you for watching. Have a good night, good evening, good morning, wherever you guys are watching from. We'll catch you guys on the in the new year with this group.
Yes, absolutely. See you in the new year. Enjoy your holidays wherever you're from. Thank you, and good.